Clara Merrill, a postgraduate linguistics student at Miskatonic University, received the invitation to catalogue the late Professor Aldous Verrall's private library, she considered it an honour. Verrall had been an elusive figure, his final years spent in reclusive study at Ashgrove Hall, a crumbling Victorian mansion swallowed by ivy and silence on the outskirts of Arkham. The executor of his estate, a pallid man named Mr. Gedney, handed Clara the keys with a peculiar warning. Avoid the locked drawer in the writing desk. The professor left it sealed for a reason. She smiled politely and dismissed it as superstition. After all, her thesis focused on language decay and pre-human myth, nothing she hadn't heard in whispered caution before. The library at Ashgrove Hall was a marvel, floor-to-ceiling shelves sagging with tomes in Latin, Sanskrit, Sumerian, and stranger tongues that pulsed with cryptic intent. Clara walked tirelessly by early. The house had electricity, but the lights flickered whenever the sun dipped below the trees. On the third night, unable to contain her curiosity, Clara pried open the forbidden drawer with a letter opener. Inside was a slim manuscript bound in blackened leather that smelled of brine and iron. The pages were covered in spidery glyphs that shimmered between shapes. Cuneiform one moment, impossible angles the next. Though she couldn't translate it, Clara found herself understanding. Each line whispered directly into her mind, bypassing speech, logic, even thought. She began to dream of vast cyclopean cities, submerged beneath stars not catalogued by any human chart. Time dripped like wax in those dreams. Past and future collapsed into a single eternal screen. On the fifth day, Clara awoke at the desk with dry glint beneath her nose and every clock in the house spinning counterclockwise. The manuscript was open to a page she didn't remember turning. Words swam across the parchment, reshaping themselves into fragmented memories. Her mother's face, a childhood pet, lectures she hadn't yet attended. Reality fractured. The walls of Ashgrove Hall breathed. Books rearranged themselves while her back was turned. From the corners of her vision, she glimpsed tendrils coiling just out of reach, soft, wet sounds echoing from the air ducts. She tried to leave but found the front door opened only into more hallway. Her watch read 9:13 no matter how many hours passed. The manuscript pulsed now, like a living thing, each page drawing her closer to the final passage. It read, "The tongue that names on time names you in return." A shape loomed behind her, immense, formless, composed of letters that had never been spoken by a sane mouth, and then, nothing. When Mr. Gedney returned a week later, he found the library immaculate. The manuscript was gone, so was Clara Merrill. But strange changes began to ripple outward. Miskatonic students reported dreams in dead dialects. Linguistic professors lost the ability to write in English. A freshman claimed the stars had shifted. In Ashgrove Hall, the writing desk sat closed once more. Only now the drawer couldn't be opened, not by key, pry bar, or fire. It had become sealed again, as if the house remembered what it had once forgotten. Months later, a new graduate student was tasked with organising Verrall's papers. Among them was Clara's journal, filled with entries that ended mid-sentence. The final note, scrawled in a shaky hand, read, "Language was never meant to describe reality, only to hold it in place. Now, when the wind blows through the cracked windows of Ashgrove Hall, it carries with it a sound not unlike speech, but no living linguist can translate it. Those who try suffer the same fate. For words are not merely symbols, some are keys, and some are doors."